second 325 podcast.
The second half.
Here we are.
It is.
Here we are down to the final four.
Final four. The
final
tournaments, the big
game,
games, and the big apple.
the big rigged NFL.
Yeah, I know. It's starting to look like that logo, the Super Bowl logo, is coming to fruition.
Well, they've kind of figured that out a while ago, but now you got that news place that accidentally posted the two teams.
Yes, yeah, the two teams with the music lineup. It's like, here's our music lineup with Usher at halftime with the 49ers and the Ravens on February 11th. So, yeah, that news station is already getting kind of I'm sure, a backlash on that.
Now, keep in mind, anybody could have put those two teams in a few weeks ago, being
absolutely.
the hottest teams.
Well, and again, with the logo, even 2 months ago, them being the hottest teams, and it's like, let's just make the Super Bowl logo purple and red and see what happens.
Yeah, so the next year's one's already come out, and it's blue and yellow. So the one guy was like, okay, does that mean it's going to be...
like what, Bills and Rams or something?
Yeah, I think he said Bills and Rams, or is
Okay.
it the Steelers and the Giants or something? But it could be the Seahawks or whoever's got blue. But
is it navy blue?
It is navy.
Oh, see, Broncos. There we go.
It could be, but you think they'd put orange for them?
Yeah, actually, I saw if you were to reorganize the conferences and divisions, and you put it in the color groups, like red would be all the red teams, like Arizona. I can't even think of other red teams right now at the top of my head, but like all the orange, you got Browns, Broncos would be part of the orange, and Bengals. Yeah, I just thought that was kind of interesting.
Yeah, red would be Tampa Bay, the Cardinals. You could even throw the Texans in, and they have a little bit of red.
Yeah. But yeah, anyway, I saw that. It was all different colors. Yeah.
Well, the Chiefs, gross.
The Chiefs, that's right. That's why I can remember, because I just want them off my mind right now.
I really hope the Ravens beat the Chiefs.
I hope so.
And I hope the Lions beat the 49ers.
You know, Patrick Mahomes has never not played in the AFC Championship.
Yeah.
He's always been in the AFC Championship.
You remember we were talking about the Bills game, and it's like, man, I've been saying all along, I'm not going to pick against the Chiefs because they don't lose in the playoffs, and until they do. And now I'm tempted to pick the Chiefs today, so we'll see which way I go. But I'm thinking, man, I should have picked them over the Bills, and wide right.
Yeah, again, man, those two words haunt Bills fans since 91.
Yeah.
92, 91, whenever that Super Bowl was, their first of the four that they lost.
I think they're going to get there someday, and their quarterback's going to get them there, and it'll all be worth it. And it'll be a lot of people from Buffalo crying.
Oh, I know.
In different tiers than they are right now.
Yeah, it made me think. Like, I'm a big, huge, Bronco fan. I feel for those Buffalo fans that just cried after the game. I haven't cried about a Bronco game in such a long time. I was probably in the 5th grade when the last time I cried. So I just keep my emotions to myself. I'm more pissed off.
I got emotional when the Seahawks won their first Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That was, something that you just want. You want so bad. So I look at, you got the Ravens and the Chiefs. Their fans know what it's like to win a Super Bowl. They've won. You got the 49ers and the Detroit Lions. Now, 49ers, it's been a while. They've been to a couple since their dominance of the 80s and 90s.
Yep.
But they haven't been in a while. But you take the Lions, man, and those fans deserve it. I want them to feel, because I had gone to a Super Bowl prior as a Seahawk fan, sitting there, NFC Championship game, beat the Carolina Panthers the 05 season, 06 playoffs, going to Super Bowl 40 against the Steelers, and we lost, didn't get any help from the refs. But
I knew you were going to bring that up.
No, I'm going to ever not bring it up. But to be able to go was just this unbelievable feeling, and then just enjoy all the pregame stuff leading up. They're just talking about your team, not the Cowboys every 5 seconds. They're talking about your team. And then the other team as well. And that was so cool. Mm-hmm. And the Detroit Lions fans definitely deserve that. Whether they can beat the Ravens or the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, I doubt it. But the Niners are beatable.
Are beatable. They are because, again, if it wasn't for a missed field goal in the Packer 49er game, it would be a different scenario look. Like, would that game have gone into overtime? Would that
And if
gone?
Love would have just thrown it down the field to his right instead of going across his body,
Yeah,
he had
I
one
mean, he
on
had a
one.
bad
He had
throw.
one on one with the guy
Yeah,
deep. I like that. I like my guy fighting for the ball over one guy, then one guy trying to catch it over three that he was surrounded
yeah.
by. But
And
you
he
know,
was throwing it across his body, across the field. Like it was just, it's like quarterback 101,
well, and
what
you
not
keep
to
in
do.
mind he's probably made that throw a million times
True.
in good weather.
Yeah.
But now it's rainy, it's cold, and the ball just didn't come off his hand the same way.
But no, I'm looking forward to these two games. It would be, again, I don't want the Chiefs in there, so I'm probably going to be biased here in my selections and my arguments and just the way I'm going to talk today because I'm done. I'm over the Chiefs. I'm over Taylor Swift and Kelsey and not
Yeah.
Jason Kelsey. Jason Kelsey right now he's
Yeah.
he's almost looking like America's favorite icon right
I
now.
feel like his brother probably has all the boosters and all the shots, and his brother's like, nah, let's drink beer.
Yeah, let's just drink beer shirtless.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get the vaccination, but you can, bro.
Did you see Jason in the Buffalo parking lot tailgating and doing a bowling ball shot or whatever?
And throws it down.
Yeah, I thought that was fun. And again, what opposing player team can go to another opposing
And is well
fan
loved.
base and is just well loved?
Name another lineman in the NFL that you know who he is. That would be that recognizable.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
What other lineman in the league can you recognize greater than Kelsey?
I don't know. Not
None of them come to my head.
No.
Maybe the Trent Williams from the 49ers.
Yeah.
Maybe him.
I mean, yeah, Mark Sweateth, but he's in the ESPN booth or ESPN.
Schlereth? Yeah, well, he's a former player.
But he's a former. He's a former player though. But that's all I can think of at the top of my head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway,
yeah.
Good job,
Jason Kelsey. Yeah. So
anyway, and then his dad bod and lineman bod. He didn't care. He just whipped that shirt off, and
I know, and
he's a thick SOB, isn't he?
Oh yeah, I mean he has the dad bod, sure. Yeah. Better than my bod. I
wonder if he'll be one of those guys. You see some of those linemen, they get all trimmed down and ripped up.
Like, yeah, like Mark.
Who was the perennial left tackle for the Browns for all those years?
Oh, Joe Thomas. Yeah,
he got all
even Sean O'Hara. He's on Good Morning Football.
O'Hara,
yeah, he trimmed down quite a bit.
Have you seen Okun? He used to play for the Seahawks and the Broncos.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he doesn't even eat really anymore. He's like skin and bones.
Well, yeah, because they're not eating that 10,000 calorie daily meal.
Well, let's get into it, buddy.
Yeah.
Wolves playoff hot shots.
So we got four. We got four. Yep. See, Chiefs at the bottom. I don't care. They're done. I want them to be done.
Put them at the bottom. I felt like they should be at the bottom out of respect to, because I saw some other lineups, and out of respect to Detroit, who already beat them.
Well, and here I do have some background on this too. As I did do this list, I was thinking about it. Chiefs haven't scored 30 points, and I mean, when was the last time he scored 30 points?
I don't know.
Think of exactly. So I kind of looked at that as well. Again, if it wasn't for a missed field goal, given that it would have been a timed game with under 2 minutes left, and Mahomes would easily have done his magic.
Most likely.
But I was kind of hoping it would be a made field goal. Chiefs would score again, and then the Buffalo would score again with 13 seconds left and send it into overtime or game winning. But anyway, if it wasn't for the missed field goal, it would be different. And
so bad for Bills fans.
I do too.
We've all been there where the kick is missed and it doesn't go through the uprights. The only thing I can compare that game was to in 2004, the Seahawks went into Green Bay in a playoff game. It went into overtime and won the coin toss. And Matt Hasselbeck said, "We want the ball. And we're going to score
first."
Well, they definitely someone scored first. He threw it out, and it was
he threw it to the game-winning touchdown. Yeah,
pick six. And just to have the game end like that, there's nothing you can do as he's running down the field. You know it's overtime, and first team scores wins. So that was tough then.
Yep.
So Niners.
I have Niners come down because
You're not buying
they
the logo then.
no,
You could
no.
have made yourself look good by going 1-2 Ravens
Yeah,
Niners,
no.
matching up with the logo.
Yeah, no, I went with Niners on this one. If they weren't relying on missed field goals, then they wouldn't even be on the list.
I like
Um,
how the Lions are playing these games. They're tight, they're tough, and that's what the playoffs is all about. So
mhm.
they're learning to win in those types of games.
Yep.
Now,
Last, like
let's
basically last pick interception or last drive.
I
That's what it coming down to.
I think the Rams game was a huge win for them
Hmm.
because the Rams were playing hot. Tampa, man, I just don't think they were that good of a team, and they didn't necessarily take it to them, but in the fourth quarter they kind of did. And
Yeah, and here's with that Tampa Bay and Lion game. When Lions were kneeling at the end of the game, did you notice on their last kneel down,
they had a timeout.
the Buccaneers had a timeout left, and there was like 37 seconds left. And I don't know if they just like, all right, we'll just let the Lions win, or were they even paying attention to the clock? Because they could have used their timeout, forced the Lions to either punt or kick a long field goal.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you have a chance, you need to take it, especially in the playoffs.
Yeah, what was that all about?
Yeah, I mean, it made me wonder. I was sitting there, I'm like, wait, I'm trying to figure out the math here. Like, they're just letting him kneel, and even Lions, they kneeled it with like 15 seconds left on the play clock,
Yeah,
and they just went ahead and kneeled it. And there was one timeout. I always say, do not leave timeouts on the scoreboard.
no,
Never, not even in situations like that.
yeah, that's tough.
So yeah, it would be tough to be a Buccaneer fan right now too, knowing that you could have had one more chance.
Yeah,
Maybe
and I mean that was a slim chance,
it would
but
have been,
still,
but
you're
still,
right. You play to win the game,
yep,
or are you?
yeah, exactly.
So anyway,
So
the Lions, I don't think that they have faced anything like the Niners are going to bring them at home. But I do think the Lions are going to play them as tough as anybody.
yep, that will be a good game regardless. I mean, again, Lions, they're fans, they deserve it. So I'm kind of leaning up more on that, and it would just be a great Cinderella story for everyone
Yeah,
as
Dan
a
Campbell,
football
Coach
fan.
of the Year.
Yeah, yeah, why
Dan
not?
Campbell should be
He
Coach of the
should.
Year.
Yeah, he's likable.
Yeah, and I know that they vote on this stuff in the regular season only. In the playoffs, they don't.
Hmm.
But man, you gotta give it to the guy.
Yeah,
I
and
mean,
then
he
yeah,
turned down a terrible. He turned around a terrible franchise.
yeah. So
All right, the playoff pick results from the divisional round. Let's see how it went. I don't remember any of my picks, but I'm pretty sure I did okay.
I think we all picked the home teams here.
The
So
Ravens,
yeah,
obviously. Niners, yes. Lions, yes. And this was the one we both lost.
yep.
Oh
So you
no.
still have the edge on me from the week before.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. As long.
keep that in mind. And I feel like I don't know actually. I don't know if we're going to be going different routes here.
Yeah, I don't know either. But Chiefs at
But
Ravens.
yeah, this is your Final Four matchup for this weekend. Where are you going to be watching the games?
Don't know.
Oh, okay. I'm actually I'm gonna miss half of the AFC Championship one. I'm gonna record it and watch it hopefully before the second game starts. But I'll be returning from Quinn Hot Springs.
Ooh,
Yeah,
wow. Yeah.
yep.
You going
But
over with your wife?
yeah, yeah. It's our anniversary, so
Oh, wow. How many years now? Four?
four, four. Yep. So anyway, yeah, I was just
So anyway, I'm not looking at Travis weirdly. I did hurt my neck, so it's a little stiff, everyone. Anyway, who do you got?
I'm you know what I'm going for the Ravens. I honestly think they have a better offense against a the Chiefs defense. I believe the Ravens are going to probably score at least 35 points in this game. It would be a good high scoring game. Maybe the Chiefs will, break 30 and get 31. I don't know, but I'm just I'm looking forward to seeing Lamar Jackson. He deserves to be in the Super Bowl, and I think this is a good year for him to get there. So
Yeah,
I'm picking the Ravens.
I think I'm right there with you for two reasons. One, they are at home. I like that the Ravens are at home, and the first time they've hosted an NFC Championship game
Oh yeah,
since they were the Baltimore Colts
yeah, because
back in
they
like
every single time they played the Patriots, they were always at
yeah Foxborough.
Foxborough. Yeah,
So I like that, and I like the way their defense is playing. We know the offense is going to put up their points, but their defense is relentless,
oh yeah, absolutely.
and I like the way they play. I like all that, and I still think that the Chiefs receivers are poor, and I think that the Ravens are not going to be scared to put a hit
Mm-hmm.
on Patrick Mahomes, who needs to be punched in the face. Let's be honest.
Or in the throat. Maybe it'll fix his voice.
Yeah, hit him in the mouth. Let's play some real football. Hit him in the mouth. Don't let him dance down the sideline with his little run that he does. Anyway, so Ravens for me too. In the NFC Championship game, the Lions are headed into Santa Clara.
Levi Stadium.
Santa Clara, not even San Francisco, Santa Clara. But yeah, I this is a tough. This is the tougher of the two picks because I is Debo playing? We've seen the
Yes.
record without him.
Yep.
The record's not
Well,
good.
and he was out early in the first game, so that could have affected really the outcome, it being so close. So, I mean, was that a factor, an issue? But I mean, they do have Christian McCaffrey. He still had 150 uh, touches on or yards on the ground, scrimmage yards, and 2 touchdowns. So, uh, yeah, I mean, he's questionable. I think it's going to be a game time decision on Debo more than if like Mark Andrews for the Ravens. I think he is going to be playing this weekend.
Okay.
Their tight end. So,
Well, they
but
also picked up the old Eagle guy, tight end.
oh, Hurts.
Hurts. Yeah,
Yeah.
they picked up Hurts.
So
Who the Hurts was with the
he was with
Cardinals
their
this year?
Cardinals. Yeah.
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 So anyway, NFC Championship game. Who do you have? Lions at Niners.
I have the Lions.
You're taking the
I'm
Lions.
taking the Lions. This has to be their year.
Gosh, I
Uh,
want it to be.
I they just they deserve it. I just think that they're just going to go all out on this game, offense and defense. Jared Goff, he's going to have 3 touchdown passes, no interceptions. Um, yeah, I believe that the Lions
So
have it.
here's the thing. Do I pick the Lions to assure that I win the playoff round?
Yeah.
Or do I pick the Niners and I have a dominant win or we tie?
I would tie, and then it goes into the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And who are we going to pick in the Super Bowl? So we don't know.
Yeah, here's the thing. I think the Niners are the better team. I think that they're going to be ready to go at home. I think they still feel like they got robbed last year and they're not going to lose another opportunity. And I think it's
Yeah,
been their
that's true.
year all along. And I still think that this is a great season for Lions fans, and they will have even more hope next year.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to take the Niners at home, and
Okay.
we'll either end up tied or I'll beat you by 2 in the playoffs, which will feel really nice.
Yeah, because I beat you pretty bad in the regular season.
Yeah, I mean, it was really bad, but yeah, you beat me.
I did.
All right, so there's our picks: Ravens for me, and the Niners.
Yeah, and then I got the Lions and Ravens. So
okay, so if the Lions get in, then we know that the logo means nothing. Or if the Chiefs get in, the logo means.
But there's still red in the logo. But what if it's red and like the purple has a hint of blue in it?
Or
is there blue on the outline?
Red and red.
Or red and red.
Yeah.
Is there blue on the outline of the purple and red?
So.
I don't think so.
It's just purple.
Okay.
So anyway, gosh, I mean, this is what makes football great because now we got this extra part of the game, which I don't know. Tell us your thoughts. Do you think that the league is scripted? Do you think they script these games? And if they do, this is my opinion on how they do it. I don't think they script them. I think they have an idea who they would rather have win that game, and I think it's controlled by the referees. That's what I think. They controlled by the referees.
So well, it would be interesting if that's the case. It'll be the Chiefs and Raven game is going to be interesting because everyone says that the refs favor the Chiefs.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden we got this purple logo. Are the refs going to favor the Ravens now in that game?
Here's the other factor. Here's the other factor that will still bring news to the NFL after the season's over. Has anybody talked about this? Probably not. Jim Harbaugh just won the national title with Michigan.
Yes.
Now you can get his brother to win a Super Bowl with the Ravens, and it's all about the Harbaughs. And then Harbaugh's going to come into the league and coach the Chargers, and now they'll compete against each other in the AFC. And come on, man, it's all about ratings. It's still a business.
I did see that too, because I saw someone put, yeah, it would be amazing if the Ravens and Lions were in the Super Bowl, because either way, you'll be talking about the Harbaughs if Ravens win, or you'll be talking about Michigan football or Michigan in general with their sports. With
what a great story after the game. You know, is it Jim Harbaugh?
Jim Harbaugh is the Michigan coach.
Yeah.
And John
is the Ravens guy. So John shows up at the national title to surprise his brother. Does his brother show up at the Super Bowl to surprise John?
The other way around.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah. Jim Harbaugh coaches the Ravens. John Harbaugh coaches the Michigan.
Yeah, because I remember seeing John Harbaugh as the quarterback for the Colts and Ravens.
Yeah, and he was. Did you remember the Hail Mary against the Steelers? NFC Championship game in Pittsburgh, throws it up, and the ball was tipped. His receiver fell down, and the ball landed on him. It rested on him, and then he tried to catch it, and it fell.
Oh, really?
If he'd have gripped that, they would have beat Pittsburgh to go to that Super Bowl that year,
really?
Which was 95, I believe, and they ended up getting smoked by the Cowboys in that Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Which is the only time that I can remember the Cowboys ever beating the Steelers in a Super Bowl. Because otherwise it was, I think, 2 other games and the Steelers beat the Cowboys.
Oh, jeez. You know, another interesting fact I saw over the weekend. Since 2009, there's always been a Manning, a Brady, a Mahomes in the AFC Championship game. And one other quarterback. I want to see if you know.
Manning,
Brady, since 2009.
Mahomes. Oh, what's his name with the Cleveland Browns? Flacco.
No. Well, he was in it a few times, but he was always playing against Manning or Brady.
So somebody from the AFC?
Yes, AFC.
Yeah. So it wasn't Flacco.
Nope. He was there 2 years back to back.
Oh, Elway?
Nope. No, not. This is 09. Mark Sanchez.
No.
Yeah.
He wasn't in a Super Bowl.
AFC Championship game 2 years in a row.
Oh my gosh.
One he played against I think Manning against the Colts, and the other one he played against I think Big Ben, or something like that.
I don't remember the Jets being that. I remember when they had Pennington.
It was like a few years slump that you didn't see New England, and
poor guy, because all you think about is the butt fumble.
Yeah.
And now he's got that really bad hair when he's calling games. You know? So anyway, we'll end it on Mark Sanchez's bad hair.
Well, actually, it's top of my mind already. If you have one play in mind for the Seattle Seahawks, what one play comes to mind as a signature play, like it's been called, the name?
Signature play for me will always be the 4th down throw that Kaepernick made in the NFC Championship game. We won the Super Bowl.
Was that a play ever called something? Like, the drive with Denver or the fumble with Denver?
No, it's just the play that got us into the Super Bowl. He threw it up, and Sherman reached with his left hand, hit it, and our linebacker, who won the MVP of the Super Bowl, caught it, intercepted, game over. We're going to that Super Bowl. We knew that was our team. We knew that was the team.
See, I thought you would say the Beastquake.
No, the Beastquake is a great memory.
Oh, yeah.
But that was a wild card game, which the next week, we won that division at 7-9 that year. The Saints. So you knew you weren't going to a Super Bowl. Another memorable play, which is not the playoffs, was I was at the game against the Fail Mary with the
the Packers and
replacement referees,
yeah,
and I'm at the other end of the end zone. You know where my seats are,
yep,
and all we see is
section 325.
it looked like Wilson was going to throw right a Hail Mary, and he ended up kind of moving and just throwing it to one guy with two guys wrapped around him. And we see the ball go up. We see hands go up on the ball, and they go down, and you can't see anything. And then the ref just goes, boom.
And another one's going this.
Yeah, and we went nuts because that's
or
all we saw.
touchback, yeah.
All we saw was the hands go up.
Yeah.
And we're going crazy. The game's over. And I remember seeing, Aaron Rodgers was chewing out the refs. I'm like, you little, sit down. You know, I'm yelling at him. Like, what is he doing? So we don't know what we don't know until you start heading out of the stadium and people are like, you know, did you hear this? Oh, they're saying it. I'm like, what? So, you get back and go get dinner afterwards and we're watching the highlights and we're like, oh, okay, well, I mean, the tie does go to the offensive player. So maybe I'm a little biased, but I always looked at it as they both came down with the ball simultaneously.
Mm-hmm.
And we're wrestling.
Well, and I think that's where that rule really came more forward.
Yeah, and they looked at it upstairs, and they still let it go. So
yeah,
I know they call it the Fail Mary and say that no, it was intercepted and everything, but that was at a time when the Seahawks were nothing, and everybody wanted the Packers. Everybody loved the Packers
because that was Russell's second year.
Yeah, that was the year they went to the Super Bowl and won it.
Mm-hmm. So.
Yeah. So anyway, how about you? What's your most memorable?
My one play actually is where I knew with Denver Broncos, yep, we are going to win the Super Bowl, their first Super Bowl, and it was during the Super Bowl, the John Elway helicopter.
I was curious if you're going to say that play.
That would probably be my. I mean, obviously that is like played out too much on TV sometimes. But as a 37-year-old who just wanted to win a game, the Super Bowl, like he just gave it everything.
And I remember, I remember most about that game is Terrell Davis playing with a migraine.
Yep, I do remember that too. I used to get migraines, or still do, but I remember playing football with migraines, and they're not fun.
No, you're sick.
You can't see. I never really got to the sick point of like throwing up or whatever, but you can't see very well and.
Yeah, they're not.
But yeah, seeing highlights of that game and the sideline conversation with Shanahan and Terrell Davis, they're like, if we don't put you in, they don't think that the ball is going to go to you. So we're going to put you in, make them think the ball is going to go to you as a diversion or something. So, but yeah, that game, that play, the helicopter, I knew and that happened like mid third quarter. So it wasn't like a must. It was a third down play, but it wasn't like it was like the last drive. It was like in the middle of the game, and when it happened, I knew we were going to win.
Was that the Falcons or Green Bay?
That was Green Bay.
Okay.
And Green Bay was like favored by almost 2 touchdowns, I think. They were the favorite that year to win.
I remember Brett Favre saying before the game, he goes, I hope we win the game, but if I'm going to lose the game, I'd rather lose to John Elway.
Yeah.
And I was like, ooh, you should have said that after the game. But anyway, they lost. They got what they wished for.
So
anyway, that's our show. We're section 325.
Second half. We're out of here.